All right, it's time to get to work. So, I've got my handy dandy visual timer here. It is very useful for folks like me who have ADHD because time blindness is a very real thing, and it helps to see the time count down from 25 minutes all the way to 0. And for Pomodoro, it is very helpful to see how much time you have left on that timer. And for those who aren't aware of what Pomodoro is a method that helps you focus on one task at a time, that you choose to just do something for 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break, and then you can do another focus session of 25 minutes, then another 5-minute break, or you can even take a longer break after that. And you kind of rinse and repeat for however many Pomodoro sessions you need. And some people choose to do longer Pomodoro sessions. Some folks like to do a 50-10 split, for example. So some people will do a 50-minute focus session with a 10-minute break in between. I personally like to do a 25-minute session because my attention span and my body's wiggliness factor, meaning I really like to get up and stretch and wiggle around a little bit, keeps me from doing the longer 50-minute sessions. But you do you, boo. Everyone's body and mind works differently, so you do what works best for you, honestly. Yeah, Pomodoro method has been really, really helpful for me.
Who's my meowy girl? Who's my meowy girl? You're just a little purr box, aren't you? Aren't you? Oh, she's my baby. You're my Valentine.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yes, it's Valentine's Day. Oh, my love. You shouldn't have. Look at these fabric birds. Oh my gosh. I love you so much. Come here. Give me a kissy. Mwah. He's learning how to respect boundaries. We love to see it. Good girl, Bree. Oh my goodness gracious. Yo, I'm definitely gonna have to try some of your drunken noodles, okay? This cow soy looks fire, alright? Carry on, love, carry on. Oh, this looks so good. I got lime juice on myself. I'm okay. I am demure. I am mindful. Okay, pickled veggies. Pickled veggies. But no onion for me. I'm glad they put those on the side. They already know. That chicken looks really good. I wanted to order the crispy pork. That'll have to be for next time.
So what is it you got?
Khao soi. This is a northern Thai dish, which is like a curry noodle soup. And they have this crispy noodle. Yes, I love this dish. It's a comfort food that's great for cold weather, which is why I really wanted to order it. And northern Thailand has got like a really distinctive set of dishes. I didn't want to be a basic bitch and order pad Thai this time. Oh. Oh yeah. Wow. Wow.
Is that good stuff?
Wow. This might be one of the best khao sois I've ever had.
Wow.
That's saying something. I've had a good number.
That's not very good from you.
Holy crap. Everything from the broth is thick and rich. The chicken is extremely well marinated. The noodles, crispy, not overly so. And the noodles, yeah, they're perfect. Everything's perfect.
Okay, let me get this hair thingies out. I use these hair rollers to make my straight hair a little bit more fun. And I think this will complete my Valentine's Day look. Ooh, fun. Ooh, and I might even add a cute little Valentine's Day hat to go with it. Actually, I'm gonna go grab that right now. 1 second. Okay. Look, I got a little French girl hat. This thing always makes me feel extra artsy. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm about to do some painting. I gotta go to a cute cafe, pick up a croissant. Okay. Get a baguette, whatever. There we go. Cute. So it's not raining anymore, but I thought that this vlog could be capturing the rare rainy days that we get in LA. Because let's face it, I'm an LA girl, so I don't really vibe too well with rainy days. But this week, I thought that I would really embrace my love of rainy days because as a self-identified extrovert, as I've been getting older, I've actually been really embracing my introverted side. And I now identify more as an introverted extrovert, meaning that I really like doing small group settings more than like a big rager where the music's pumping super loud and it's just like overstimulating, especially as a neurodivergent individual when there's too much stimulus going on, like bright lights, lots of loud sounds. It's overwhelming. It's too much. There's a book I really like called The Highly Sensitive Person. I especially like the audiobook, by the way, because it's narrated by a lady who sounds like Julie Andrews. So I just feel like this really lovely grandma type lady is reading bedtime stories to me. But anyways, I love this book because they talk a lot about how, as a highly sensitive person, your goal in life is to make sure that you are maintaining an ideal amount of stimulation for your body to exist in. So you don't want too little stimulation because then you're bored, but you don't want too much stimulation because then you're overstimulated and overwhelmed. So you want to be ideally in the middle where you're getting just enough stimulation where you're feeling like, oh yeah, like this is interesting, this is fulfilling to me, and yeah, not too much that you're feeling overwhelmed. So yeah, finding that balance. And I think for me, I've been realizing that spending a good amount of time with my own thoughts during my morning routines and my nighttime wind down routines has been great. And then during the day, when I go to the office and I chat it up with my office mates and I do client meetings and do creative problem solving there, that's been good for me. Being able to spend time, quality time with my partner, with my friends during the day, that's been good. Like one-on-one chats where I get to do what I call soul diving, like really getting to know someone. Just small talk kills me. I hate small talk. I could not care less about the weather, all right? Like, I don't care who, well, I just don't really care about sports all that much. Sorry if you're into sports, but uh, I'm like, I don't really care about small talk. I want to know what makes your soul sing. I want to know what gets you out of bed every morning, what makes you excited and jazzed about life. And that's what I call soul diving. So I like to have these kinds of intimate conversations. And if we're in a loud environment, it's a club or a really loud party, it's not very conducive to those kinds of conversations. Or if the group is too big, it's hard to break off into those more intimate bubbles where you can have those kinds of conversations. So dinner parties that are more than 4 people is kind of hard to facilitate that kind of thing. So that leads me to my next point, which is spending more intentional time alone. This has been a challenge for me. I usually spend most of my time with people, at least in my early 20s and before then. I can't remember really ever being alone because I was usually with a family member, and namely my mom. Like we were like besties, like just tied at the hip. And I didn't really eat by myself, go to the movies by myself ever. Usually it was like a safety thing, of course, being a young woman, I was never really by myself. But then when I got to college and I was learning to be an adult, I still felt this strange, like I felt this awkwardness with being by myself. Like I would be judged or seen as weird if I was eating in the dining halls by myself. I thought people would think I was a loner or that I had no friends or that I was just weird if I ate by myself. So I always made sure I had a buddy with me. Like even if I was just trying to grab a quick breakfast, I would do a grab and go and just eat on the way to class because I didn't want to feel like other people were looking at me and judging me for eating by myself in the dining halls. And watching a movie by myself was a thought that never really crossed my mind. So it wasn't until I started to watch more YouTube videos about these self-care girlies who would share their morning routines, would share things about taking yourself out on a self date. It expanded my mind about what it meant to love yourself and explore your own inner world. And then I realized I had a lot of anxiety surrounding getting to know myself because my inner world was an unexplored territory, and that was terrifying. And I realized that that was probably a big reason why I was running away from myself is I was scared of the unknown. I didn't know myself. I was using other people as a shield to run away from truly getting to know myself. And I used being busy as an excuse. I would just go from event to event to event. And I would get burnt out all the time. College was like club event, doing homework, studying, pulling all-nighters, trying to do this project, blah, blah, blah. I had no time for rest, okay? Rest was me collapsing into bed, barely able to crawl all the way to my pillow because I was just that exhausted. And my calendar was overrun by socializing and trying to jump through these hoops for other people instead of running my life for myself. And that's when I realized, in hindsight now, I'm like, wow, I really was running away from spending time with me. And so that's where I'm trying now to spend more intentional time with me, getting to know me through my routines and with mindfulness practices. And when I say mindfulness, it's not even just like sitting down and doing the whole meditation thing, the body scan, the breathing. All that's great too, okay? But you don't have to be like, like a monk or whatever. That stuff's good, but also you can be mindful while you're brushing your teeth. You could be mindful while you're pouring yourself a cup of tea. I kid you not, I have sticky notes all around my apartment that say, take 3 deep breaths. That was something one of my therapists put me up to because I was telling her, I'm too busy to sit down for 15 minutes. And she's like, okay, well, why don't you just take some moments of mindfulness? Like the places where you frequent the most, when like next to your water refill station, put a sticky note that says, take 3 deep breaths. I'm sure you have 3 seconds to spare. And she was right. It did act as a really good reset to just reconnect with my body. When I get overwhelmed, I feel like my soul just starts to leave my body and I'm kind of disconnecting from myself. And so I'm like, oh, gotta pull her back in, recenter. And it was like all of these little things over time where I started to really get to know myself. I started to collect things that I liked, not necessarily buying them. It did involve some purchases, but even just like collecting trinkets, like shiny little like little pebbles from my travels, or um like little doodads that my friends get me that they think I'll like cute little like Pusheen or Gudetama things and plushies, and just surrounding myself with textures, colors, scents that I really like, and realizing that, oh my gosh, like these are me, these are things I like. Wearing clothes that make me feel good, and like texture wise, and the way I feel when I'm in them, but also I like the way I look in them. I like the color palettes, and just truly surrounding myself with things I like, and then exploring my rich inner world is a whole other thing too, because as a creative, like, man, our inner worlds are full of so much color and vibrancy, and the imagination is truly limitless. Like, as a storyteller, I have got so much going on up there. It's crazy. Like, I've really fallen in love with my inner world because I've got so many fun stories that I want to tell, like romance stories that like novels that I want to write, screenplays, even songs that I want to write to on ukulele and guitar. Like, it's just, it's fun. It's fun. I was scared, I think, because I didn't know how colorful and fun it was. Like, it's almost like I had the lights off and I was struggling to find the light switch. But once I turned the lights on, I realized that it's a beautiful, beautiful little like fairy cave, like with all of the wonderful things that I've built over a lifetime. So, yeah, all this to say is, if you're still on your journey of trying to build that relationship with yourself, it's okay. Like, it'll come day after day that you build in your routines, you show up for yourself, build that self-trust, and just, yeah, take it easy. Like, one day at a time, it'll come. And I'm I was just spending this rainy few days vibing with myself and learning to embrace the slowness, the slower pace of life, and do things at my own pace. It was really refreshing. So I feel like I talked you guys' ears off again. Wow, I was gonna do a short vlog, but I think I rambled. Oh well, that's what vlogs are for, I guess. Wow. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, and whatever weather it is over where you're at, I hope that it's at least sunny here on the inside. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. When the rain pours down, can I dance with you? Down every park and avenue, down every street